This is really bad for Ubisoft. Their stock is down massively after all the controversies have taken place. Shareholders know that the company's in big trouble. Their two AAA games, which cost an obscene amount to make, are going to fail this year. And there's really no path forward. Ubisoft is too paused. They are too invested in identity politics to do anything. We've covered it a lot here on the channel. We're going to cover exactly what's going on with the investors today because this is some wild stuff, and it's not looking good for the company. As usual, I think there's just going to have to be a wholesale change in gaming. They're going to have to just get rid of all their upper management that's pushing this stuff, start over. If they want to make good games anymore. I'm not sure they even care at this point because they don't seem like they do. All right, welcome everybody to the channel. My name's John Delarose. I hope you are happy here, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, join our community talking about this stuff. Please hit that subscribe button, the like button, leave me a comment, and get the algorithm going for us. We appreciate you for doing so. And I've got a Kickstarter for a great graphic novel. If you like science fiction, if you like fun, old 80s style stuff, this is a great one for you. Star Wars, Star Trek, Warhammer 40K, kind of wrapped up into one with some, classic pulp also. So this is right up the alley of the type of stuff that I would love to see made into video games or movies. So please check it out. It's in the description below. Support our channel, support our artistic efforts, and thank you so much, everybody, for doing so. We're crushing it so far. 6 days, almost 17,000. You've been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much again. Okay. So story is that Ubisoft stock is plummeting despite exceeding sales targets. Now, this happened before their apology yesterday, and over the weekend when they were running defense for their whole putting the Black Samurai in there, who's not historically accurate, and getting some shills out there to say it was historically accurate despite that. It seems like they knew the writing was on the wall. There's just too many Japanese gamers who are like, this is insulting to us. It's insulting to our heritage. We can't handle this. And there's a petition going online right now with 95,000 plus signatures of Japanese gamers who are like, cancel this game. And I really think that's the only tack they can do to save their company at this point. They really need to make sure that this game just doesn't come out like this. I'd rewrite this without the Black Samurai in it, put just a normal samurai in it, get rid of all the weird LGBTQ diversity stuff that they're trying to put into the game as well, and then perhaps release it next year with gamers actually getting a game that they want regarding feudal Japan. People have been waiting for Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan for a long time. They were really hoping that something good was going to come out of this, and it looks like it's quite the opposite. The trailer footage with Black Samurai beheading Asians with hip-hop music in the background just shows exactly how cringy these developers are on every single level. It's just terrible stuff. You could play Ghost of Tsushima instead, of course, and that's what everybody's pretty much saying. So Yahoo Finance reports that Ubisoft stock fell 12.42% in the last 5 days. This is a couple days old. I've actually looked at the new 5 days. They're down 18.34% now. It's gotten even worse, and you could see the initial drop happened as the controversy was hitting with the Japanese right there, and then after the shareholder apology, it dropped even further yesterday. This is not good. This kind of level of a drop in funds is like company sinking. When you get a 20% drop, big problems. That's all hands on deck. We need to right the ship. Kind of a drop. Yeah, this is a unheard of for a company like this. If you go back down 5 years, the stock for the company of Ubisoft is down 74%. Holy crap! Now this is weird because we are having the greatest stock boom of all time. Part of it's due to inflation, of course, because the values of things are much lower than they would have been. But stocks for tech companies especially have just been going through the roof. So having Ubisoft buck this trend really shows how bad the company's performing. They really have not had a hit, and investors don't think they are going to have a hit with two very expensive games coming down the pipeline. Absolutely crazy. So co-founder touted the net booking, saying, in a selective market We delivered a solid start to the year with net bookings above target, so it's been a decent year so far for them, reaffirming we're on the right track. The quarter notably saw the launch of X Defiant that is off to an encouraging start as we continue to grow the audience at a steady pace and plan a quarterly roadmap of the content that will allow us to firmly establish the game over time. He continued, we also have Ubisoft Forward, a key event for our teams and players, which we showcase content aligned with our strategic focus on our two key verticals, open world adventures and GaaS native experiences. The gameplay we presented for our two highly anticipated upcoming premium titles, as of the AAA games, Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows, not only praised by players and critics, but also highlighted the cutting-edge abilities of our game engines. We also presented the strong pipeline of content to continue feeding our live titles. So before these games came out, things are going pretty well. They don't really have a giant release yet because these are their giant releases. But now, and then they say that gamers really praise this stuff. But this doesn't jive with the big apology statement that they made yesterday. I already covered a video on this entire topic. Really insulting stuff. But, you can see right here how they lie. We have put significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan. You really haven't, and it's been clear that you haven't. Gamers rejected this, and especially Japanese gamers have rejected this, and this just made matters worse. When Ubisoft went out there with this half apology, refusing to do anything, saying that, hey, you know what, we hear that, all the gamers are upset, but we're just going to refuse to change the game and double down on saying that we're all doing completely fine here. Thanks so much for the support. It feels like a middle finger to gamers. All that did was turn off more gamers from actually potentially even buying the game, which they already have a problem because gamers are saying they're not going to buy this anyway, especially Japanese gamers. So it's pretty obvious why their stock is in the toilet right now. And it looks like they're not going to be doing anything to correct this sort of thing. Now, this is pretty normal. Like companies like that are this far into developments of a games like Assassin's Creed Shadows or Star Wars Outlaws, they're too far into it. These games take 2, 3, sometimes 4 years to develop, and they're so far along the path that they can't do a terrible amount about it other than like fix bugs. Now, you could probably get rid of the Yasuke skin and turn it into an actual Asian guy, change some of the names in there. Not too bad. But I don't think they're going to go that route because I'd probably delay the game another year if they actually wanted to do that. And I don't think that they're going to do that despite the fact that this is going to be very poorly received. So really what we're trying to do is get them to change for their next offering, which we'll see. I don't know how this is going to go. Executives are evasive after investors question potential low sales for Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed. Gosh, we really haven't even touched Star Wars Outlaws that much because Assassin's Creed's been so cringy. But this is going to be a train wreck too with this like wine ant female Han Solo clone trying to with a weird tattoo. It's like, oh gosh, who's this supposed to appeal to? Oh my gosh. So Ubisoft executives did their best to avoid questions from institutional investors regarding the company's potential sales of these two games. They had a Q1 sales report. They noted it was expected to have big net bookings. Barclays' Nick Dempsey questioned the low prediction in a Q&A session during the company's sales call. When I look at the guidance for Q2, and if I assume something similar going back to the catalog in Q2 as Q1 is kind of getting 200 to 300 million euros, that sort of range. For the new release of Star Wars Outlaws, I look at the $70 price, and then assuming what you might get from it, I'm getting around 5 million units, something in that bracket. First of all, where could I be going wrong with that thinking? Second, are you being pretty conservative in your guidance? Because I guess, given the interest that the game, we might have thought it would be more than 5 million units. So with a Star Wars game, a Star Wars AAA game, they probably would have thought they would have sold more than 5 million units. There's a couple things going on. Of course, Star Wars Outlaws looks like more of the same put a chick in it and make it lame and gay nonsense. And then Star Wars has destroyed its brand with that same sort of thing as well. And then for Assassin's Creed, he also questioned the potential of their sales. When I look at the second half, clearly I think we're going to need heavy contribution from Assassin's Creed. But could it be those revenues would in fact be boosted by multiple hundreds of millions in partnership deals? That kind of range would get us over the line. So what he said to this is, we can't comment on the very numbers you are quoted. Huh. I wonder why. But what we have factored in is a strong launch for Star Wars Outlaws that reflects the fact that it is among the most awaited games in the industry this year with strong positive community sentiment. My gosh, the corporate speak is just painful to listen to. And also, the fact that we are coming with the biggest marketing campaign ever so far for an Ubisoft game, that's what we've been factoring in the second quarter. As far as his other question, he says, as we mentioned, we expect Shadows to be the most ambitious title of the series. That's one way to put it. We also anticipate Star Wars, that is usually a very strong brand around Christmas, should do very well with a busy season, with a strong impact also from blank content from both games. We also expect further growth from Rainbow Six Siege as well as other Impact Shadows on the back catalog. So he refused to address the sales numbers that they're anticipating, which are lower than is going to be profitable for the game because these games cost so freaking much to make. And this is just another bad sign. They're totally just on defense mode. They're totally just on evade mode. And they're not actually going to do what gamers want. It's pretty obvious. And they're going to suffer even greater at this point. Investors are not happy about this, as you can see. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out something really awesome in the Hidden Emperor sci-fi graphic novel right here. We'll be back soon.